Hello everybody, my name is Deku and welcome back to MILGRAM. This is the very end of Trial 1 and I'm so excited. This is also going to be the beginning of Trial 2 as well. I think, maybe, I don't know. It depends on what the what the title of this video says. Oh, speaking of, look there, right there, look, it's the patrons. Do you see that one right there, right there? It says Yui Izumi currently right now. I'm not going to be able to remember all of them once there's a lot, but right there with the cool font and the pink, yeah, that's because they paid to be a member and everything. But you don't have to pay, and you still get your name over there. I've only have one person paid so far, but that's fine. It's okay. This is not sarcasm. I am absolutely okay with that because I still love doing this regardless. But one thing I do want to make you guys aware of is that by becoming a paid member, you can help me get a new camera and use all this other shit. Also, don't ignore these over here. Half these people I don't watch anymore. Don't. In case anyone is ever like, I see those people. I don't know if they're something that comes up in the future. Oh, they're problematic. Sometimes you can enjoy content while also acknowledging that they are problematic. But also, depending if they're really problematic, you can just not watch them at all. I have way too many subscriptions. Anyway, so let's get started, shall we, with all first trial interrogation questions. Now, I also want to give a quick shout out to King Che 772 for posting the interrogation questions. I don't know if these are going to be the same questions. If not, I will obviously do a second video. And the only reason why I'm not reading them myself is because, well, there's a video for it right here. But thank you so much for that effort and putting them into the comments on every video. Also, I know there's MILGRAM as well, and we'll probably do something with that later on down the line. Perhaps another video after this, depending on how long this one is. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Shortly after the release of each prisoner's song and voice drama, fans got to ask the characters questions through the MILGRAM portal app. Oh. A number of them were chosen and answered by characters on Twitter. They contain extra information about the prisoners. Each pair, with the exception of Mikoto and Kotoko, answered the same questions. Which is interesting. So I'm guessing that because Mikoto and Kotoko aren't really like a pair, but like also kind of are, you can then pair those two up with other characters too. That's really interesting because I've heard the term with Fuuta and Kotoko as the Justice Duo from one of you guys out there. So that's very, very interesting if that's purposeful. Translations are by MILGRAM Fan Cult. You can find them on MILGRAM Wiki or on their Twitter at MFanCult. Please thank them for their hard work. Thank you if you get the chance. "30 questions. Oh, is this for both Yuno and Sakurai? Okay, hold on. I wonder if I don't know if this what's in the background. If you could have one wish come true, I want to be loved. Aww. He's so pathetic. Who went with your first love? I don't know. He's got nice handwriting. What's the difference between like and love? Aren't they both this good feelings? Yes, but you can like, I don't know, plummeting from a 50-story building, but you can't, you might not love it. What kind of fucking analogy is that? Next. Do you think God exists? I think so. What kind of person is your father? I disappointed him. Aww. What's your ideal date? I don't know. Don't. Is there an either or just don't know? Who's in your family? My father, my mother, and me. You know, there was that theory or that thing I saw about how Haruka is intellectually disabled in some way. And it really does make sense because a lot of times people with intellectual disabilities, they don't say mom or dad. They say father or mother or so on because that's just how they're told to speak. And a lot of times they don't use, what's it called? Contractions. They will say the full thing. So that's very interesting. Have you ever had a pet? I don't have one. You don't have one. That was not the question, though, Haruka. That was not the question. What do you think about your family? I love them. Can you speak any other thing else? That's impossible. Very interesting that he uses proper punctuation, too. Are there things you can't buy with money? I think there is. Technically, you can buy anything with money. That's kind of just like how capitalism works. You can buy anything with it. It just matters if it's genuine or not. Do you have a hobby? I like talking with the prisoners. He's very in the now. Very, very in the now. Favorite animal? I don't like animals. Is that so? What's an event that sticks in your memory? Fireworks. What do you not like? Little kids and animals. Oh. Ooh. Is there anyone you hate? I don't have the right to. I mean, you have the right to fucking feel whatever you feel. Is there something you regret? There is. What are you most scared of? Betraying people, because probably he feels he betrayed his mom and dad. Is there someone you want to see right now? My mother, scratch, scratch, scratch. Interesting. What's the most expensive thing you've bought? Cotton candy. Oh. Oh, he really must be, like, mentally handicapped in some way. Oh my god, I feel so bad for him. Oh, I feel so bad for him. Oh. Oh. But again, it's one of those things. Do you coddle somebody because they are mentally disabled? Or do you still go through with how you would treat them as any other person? It depends. It depends on the person in the scenario. And I don't know enough about Haruka. I don't know. It's kind of relaxing. Are there any rations that you want? Not really. Do you have a dream for the future? I want to live normally. Where do you want to go if you can't get out? If you can get out? I can't think of anywhere. Has anything interested you in MILGRAM lately? Moo talks a lot more these days. A lot to me these days. What's your type? I want someone who gives me attention. How do you choose what clothes to wear? I wear what I have. Do you like dogs or cats? I don't like either. Do you like any of your body parts? I never thought of that before. Okay. Alright, come on, Yuno. If you could have one wish come true, only one, if it's just one, I might regret it later, so I'll pass. So you just don't take it at all? Interesting. Haruka-kun in preschool. What's the difference between like and love? Isn't liking a state and loving a feeling? Could be. Depends on how you feel about it. Do you think God exists? No. Watch whenever Amane is asked this, it's just like scripture. What kind of person is your father? He hasn't been with me for as long as I can remember, so I don't know. What's your ideal date? Maybe a park? Interesting. Who's in your family? Grandpa, grandma, mom, me, little brother? Yuna. Yuna? Yura. Oh, interesting. Have you ever had a pet? Nope. Exclamation point. Nope. What do you think about your family? I love them. Can you speak any other language than Japanese? I can speak English. The original was also written in English. I can't speak English. The original was also in... Are there things you can't buy with money? Aren't there? Like character? True. I mean, depends. I mean, you could go through, like, behavioral therapy, I guess. Do you have a hobby? Maybe shopping with friends and the chill theater club at school? Favorite animal? Dogs? Question mark. Interesting. That's what... interesting, because these are the pairs, and dogs. Dogs. We know about dogs. What's an event that sticks in your memory? There are lots, so I can't narrow it down. What do you not like? Greasy food. Fuck you. People who like to give lectures. Never mind. Something you regret. Even if I did, it is what it is, right? True. What are you most scared of? Coldness. Okay. Is there someone you want to see right now? I think my family. What's the most expensive thing you've bought? What was it? I think a stuffed animal. Really? Really, huh? Is there someone you like? I like everyone except those I hate. Fair enough, I guess. How's your prison uniform? Isn't it actually kind of cute? A little. Are there any rations you want? A blanket. Do you have a dream for the future? I hope I'll find something I can get really absorbed with. I get really... Where do you want to go if you can get out? Karaoke? I get really absorbed in this. Like, well, MILGRAM and this, right? What I'm doing right now. Has anything interesting happened in MILGRAM lately? It turned up that Mahiru's quite out of sorts. Amane looks down on Fuuta. What's your type? Someone who treats me as special. How do you choose what clothes to wear? It depends on who I'm with. Do you like cats or dogs? Dogs. Big ones. Rough. Do you like any part of your body? I think my eyes, but I like that I'm overall just right. Interesting. 15 questions. Okay, I see. What is a friend? Someone you can get hyped over the same things with. True. What are you scared of? It's not like I'm scared. I love how it's all in different handwritings. What are your parents like? Don't remember much about my mother since the divorce. My father is weak, pathetic, foggy. Is there something you hate? Shallow-minded idiots. True. What's your type? Someone who can keep up with my conversation level, because girls' talk is mostly boring. Interesting. Guys, is Fuuta an incel? What would you like to do if you got lots of money? It depends on how much, but you better be more clear on the conditions. Favorite place, like a game arcade? Nah, but these days more idiots are there. They're screwed, real screwed. Fuuta would hate reactionaries, dude. Who's in your family? My mother, my father, and older sister. Oh. Do you feel sorry for who you killed? I never killed anyone. Didn't you hear me? I thought you were a warden. Which prisoner do you get along with the best? Because, okay, remember that the big thing with Fuuta is that he might not have directly been the one who killed. It might have just been, through another layer, like by proxy. I'm not anyone's happy friend. Well, Haruka is younger, so I'll take care of him. I take care of him. Is it unforgivable to look down on people? The world's full of trashy folks. Full of guys that deserve to be looked down on. True. Like fascists and bigots. Yet again, tautology. Can you forgive the other prisoner's murder? People who resort to violence are scum. They do it because they're stupid. Way to say that, Fuuta, whenever you're the one that leaped at fucking S. Is there something you admire? Admiring is losing. God, he has such like not victim complex, like a losing mentality. What are your hobbies? Internet, gaming, and soccer. Bet. What do you want to be when you grow up? In the current society, it's rubbish no matter what you do. I'll just go with the flow. Kind of a shit answer. Someone who properly listens to what I say. What are you scared of? Painful things and scary things and embarrassing things. I'm proud of my mom and dad. They're kind and cool and beautiful. She definitely seems young because of the way she's writing. Is there something you hate? Scary people and ghosts. And right now what? And right now school. You're in prison, Moo. What's your type? Someone like my dad. Interesting. What would you do if you got lots of money? I do what I want to do, so I don't know if I've ever thought about it before. She does come from a rich background. Mom's homeland. Nice. France. The ocean's so pretty. Nice. Nice. France. Who's in your family? Mom, dad, and me. Interesting. Do you feel sorry for the people for who you killed? The person who did the wrong thing first should apologize. True. Which prisoners do you get along with the best? Haruka. Interesting. Is it unforgivable? Everyone should get along. Some people you just can't get along with, though, and you shouldn't tolerate the fact you can't get along with them. Can you forgive the other person's prisoner's murders? If they had their own circumstances like I did, it's understandable. Only you know your pain. Interesting response. Is there something you admire? I've never thought about it. What are your hobbies? Taking care of tropical fish. They're small and cute. Nice. What do you want to be when you grow up? I was going to think about it after college. Well, I would assume you would have college all planned out because you're really rich, so I guess you had the privilege of putting it off. Wow. 21 questions for... I forgot their names. Why did you choose your current workplace? I thought it would let me contribute to society. Oh, he's in like straight typeface, like he typed it out. Shido. Is there someone you can confide in? They're already gone. He's so pathetic. Have you ever had an affair? I have not. Is there anything you treasure? My family. Very basic answers. Do you dislike any of the other prisoner? There isn't, but I think Amane might not like me that much. It saddens me. Second oldest and the youngest. What are you willing to sacrifice for love? Everything. Interesting. That gives a little bit more insight into what he possibly did. Now, remember, I thought he was like Cicolata from Part 5 in his murders and in his crimes. But I've been told to maybe think a little bit deeper. I have not been spoiled, but I am curious to see if possibly it was not malicious, but actually something like contribute to society. Like medical malpractice, but out of like a weird twisted good, but maybe also not at the same time. Like he genuinely thought that he was doing something good because of like the power in him as a doctor. Giving mercy to people. Are there people you'd leave behind after you die? Not anymore. Good fucking lord. Having your loved one die, definitely. What do you want from your lover? I think it's enough for them to remain healthy. Dude, no wonder he wants to fucking kill himself. How many lovers have you had so far? 4, I suppose. Ooh! Would you rather confess or be confessed to? I think I'm the type that prefers to be the one confessing. Interesting. Now, this is going to be interesting for Moo whenever it comes to how many lovers she's had. That would be very insightful to who she is. What are your recent hobbies? I think I'd be drawing because I've been bored lately. Aw, jackalope. What is your favorite food? Fish and chawanmusi. If you could bring someone back to life, who would you choose? I can't choose anymore. God. He's so sad. Oh, he's so pathetic. How much money do you have saved? That's not something you should ask people. What is the definition of happiness? The promise of an unchanging tomorrow. Interesting. What animal are you similar to? Perhaps a ray. There's no particular reason. I just like them. I like rays. I've touched them before. They are very cool. Very rubbery. They're kind of like those really old school things where you would like put the pills in the water and then expand, but like not the sponge ones, but like the weird plastic ones that was kind of like goopy. That's exactly what they feel like. Which prisoners are you closest to? I would say Makuhara-san. We're both old men, and we spend time together in the smoking room. There's a smoking room, huh? What do you think happens when people die? I like the concept of transmigration. I hope it's true. Interesting. What do you think about smoking? People tell me to stop because it's bad for my health, but I smoke because it's unhealthy. Dude, he really wants to fucking die. I smoke because it's cool. I actually don't smoke that much or that often. Like mainly not even stress. Like whenever I do, I don't like inhale through my mouth or anything. I just mouth smoke it like it's a cigar, but usually it helps me focus or like whenever I'm typing or like if I'm, trying to relax or something like that. But like, I've never been able to do more than one a day. Like even like one a day after another, I can't do. I cannot do. Unless maybe for like a special event, like I'm saying doing it socially or something. How do you think you should atone for your sins? Please decide for me. God, you're so sad. You're so sad. Alright, Mahiru. Oh, she has some cute handwriting. What did you choose? I'm actually still a college student. I can't decide where I want to work in the future. Is there someone you can confide in? The lady who works in the beauty parlor I always go to is someone I can talk to about anything. I wonder if she was the one she told, and it's because of her she got arrested. Have you ever had an affair? Nope. Me doing something like that is impossible, right? Right. Is there anything you love? You treasure? Love? Question mark, exclamation mark. Do you dislike any other prisoners? Fuuta-kun's a bully, so I don't like him. And Mikoto-kun seems like a shallow person who might cheat on his lover. Poor Mikoto, dude. What are you willing to sacrifice for love? Everything. What am I willing to sacrifice for love? Also probably everything. Or anything. But it depends on what is the love. Are there people you'd be leaving behind after you die? No one yet, I guess. What's something more painful than death? Not being able to love anyone. What do you want from your lover? As long as they'll accept Mahiru's love, I don't desire anything else. Why'd she speak in the third person there? How many lovers have you had so far? 1. Really? Oh, she's such a hopeless romantic then. Would you rather confess or be confessed to? I want to be the one to do it. But I've always been the one confessing, so maybe I want to try being confessed to for once. I'll confess to you. What are your recent hobbies? If it's recently, then it'd be chatting with everyone, I think. Although it used to be watching dramas. Not romances, huh? What's your favorite food? If you're making it for Mahiru, I'd be fine with anything. You know, that whole yandere thing is really coming to fruition, but also not at the same time. If you could bring someone back to life, who would it be? The person I like. Oh yeah, she killed him. Yep. That was who they killed. How much money do you have saved? I'm just living off my allowance. Okay. What animal are you similar to? A penguin. They're wonderful animals who take care of their children as a couple. Mm-hmm. And they have a single mating partner for the rest of their lives, I think. If I'm correct on that. They mate for life. Which prisoner are you closest to? I'm friends with all the girls. What do you think happens when people die? They go to heaven. I wonder if that's cope on her part. What do you think about smoking? I've never smoked before, but I might copy them if the one I love smokes. She has such a hard time being herself. How do you think you should atone for your sin? I don't know if Mahiru is a bad person or not. So interesting. 20 questions. Let's go. Do you have any special skills? Judo, karate, and kendo, I guess. Especially judo, since I've been doing it for a long time. Damn, what a badass. Kazui. My dilf bottom. Is there anyone you hold in high esteem? You wouldn't know them, but I have a childhood friend. I really look up to them. Sorry for bringing up someone you'd have to have no clue about. If you were allowed to do anything, what would you like to do? I'd like to live righteously. Do you think your family is proud of you? No, they must find me embarrassing. You know, that whole thing about him being gay is really coming together. I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but I think that's one of my theories, is that he's gay or he cheated on his partner. Or something along those lines. Would you like to ride at a music park? The merry-go-round. I actually want to try riding one. The merry-go-round? Just the merry-go-round? I mean, I guess you can say merry means happy. Another word for happy is gay. Gay! What is the difference between an adult and a child? Responsibility. Adults can't just go around and do whatever they want. The difference between an adult and a child is age and maturity. But beyond that, nothing else really. At least in my opinion. Everything else is a social construct that is built up a little bit too much. Like, the idea of being overly serious, in my opinion, can kind of be like a bourgeoisie fucking thing, right? Like the lie of adulthood and all this other stuff. Like, yes, you have responsibility as an adult, but it is not inherent as an adult. It all depends on what's around you that defines and all this other stuff. I can't really say that I do. Between ethics and emotion, what's your priority? I failed before while prioritizing emotions. I've never acted on my feelings ever again. Who does your family consist of? Now it's only one person. Are you close with any of the other prisoners? The smoking group includes Shido-kun, Mikoto-kun, and myself. Really? So I think we get along well. Interesting. What kind of meat do you like? Rump meat, if that makes sense to you. Well, basically red meat. Red meat is good when you start getting around my age. Yes, rump meat, like ass, meaning he's gay. What's the meaning of life? I wonder. If you find out, kindly come tell me. Who do you want to see right now? I can't meet them anymore. Do you listen to music? Oh, I wonder if his wife killed themselves, and then also the gay guy he was with also killed himself too. Do you listen to music? Well, a decent amount. I'm sure you don't know them because they're all old songs. Interesting. When do you wake up / go to bed? Because I don't have a job now, I'm letting myself act freely. I sleep whenever I get sleepy and wake up before noon. Interesting. Do you believe in past lives and fortune telling? I don't. I can't shift the responsibility of what happens in life to them. That is very, very true. Even though I myself do believe in some spiritualness, I do believe in, what was it Lenin said? There is the common quote of religion is the opium of the masses, but there is also the idea that it should not be a public affair. You can do whatever you want in private and behind closed doors, and that also means practicing religion, but it should not be allowed to then affect the world around you or the state or so on. Like, the state should not mingle with religion or the like. Nor should religion mingle with the state and the things like that, because you should have a scientific view of the world, not spiritual because of what you believe in. You should be able to materially analyze the world around you scientifically and still come to some conclusions on that. So basically, you know how like a lot of Christian scientists are extremely well-respected scientists, but do not take doctrine or like God as a thing, but take the idea of religion to influence them wanting to find out the secrets of the universe instead of just saying it's God. That's one of the ways that you should go about it, at least from a leftist perspective. But you are still free 100% to practice whatever it is you want. What would you do if the world were to end tomorrow? Oh, fuck. Hold on. What do you do? I would lazily do some fishing. My childhood friend, who I talked about earlier, owns a boat. Childhood friend? Or do you mean gay lover? Do you regret your murder? I do regret it. I should have kept lying. Ooh. Do you want to be forgiven? I'm not sure. I also want my weakness to be tolerated, to be honest. Interesting. Any complaints about being imprisoned? Of course. But a part of me has been saved by this extraordinary situation. I don't have to think about unnecessary things. Alright, little girl. See what you have to say. Do you have any special skills? Nothing that I can call a talent. Perhaps studying. I do well in my Japanese class. Again, very interesting. She has the best handwriting out of all of them, and then also the best grammar, too, so far. And the longest answers. Is there anyone you hold in high esteem? My father. My father has been on a journey for a while, but that is something very honorable. I wonder if he's a missionary. Or he's God. What was it? John of God? That like cult that was in Japan or something like that? If you were allowed to do anything, what would you like to do? Nothing really. I am not lacking anything. Do you think your family is proud of you? Of course. No daughter is an example. What is it? What did you say? Is as exemplary as I. What do you like to ride at the amusement park? That is a place I should not go to. Interesting. What is the difference between an adult and a child? There is no borderline there. I think there are grown-ups, grown-up children, and childish grown-ups. That is also very, very true. It also makes sense as to why they're a pair, Kazui and Amane. But, I mean, there is other things that define children, such as puberty, and, biological things and the like, and then also developmental things, right? Because one of the things that defines a child from a grown-up, unless of very special, extraordinary conditions, is the fact that their mind is not as developed as an adult is. That does not mean that a child cannot be smarter than an adult, or an adult could be not as smart as a child. But there are things that need to be presently understood, which are some things that, like, because whenever you start, if we want to get really kind of dark with this, but, given the entire, fact of MILGRAM, there are some people who, by the existence of Amane, could define or defend ideas like pedophilia, right? Which was another one of the things I was talking about. I was like, will they go into anything like that with Amane? So far, no. But I know how bad people can be sometimes. And, whenever they hear certain things, that they might be like, oh, does this mean it's an excuse for this? Or blah, 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 blah. But there is always exceptions, and then there is not exceptions, right? And one of the things that, regardless of situation, that as a crime is not to be exempted because a child is really smart, or there is no difference between a child and an adult. You can go based on a biology thing of, inability to actually work out, or you can go to morality thing of not being ready for that sort of stuff, of not understanding what they're doing. Even if you teach them because they're so young, they do not have the world experience to justify the action of doing so at that time yet. Or you can even go so far as to say any of the other very valid reasons to not be a pedophile. So, yes. Even if there is no difference between an adult and a child, there is still the fact that one is an adult and one is a child. Do you like yourself? I have never considered it from the perspective of love and hate, but I do think I am a good child. Between ethics and emotions, what's your priority? Both are trivial. Interesting. Who does your family consist of? It was my mother, my father, and I. I do not think that's true. Are you close with any of the other prisoners? If I were to say, I guess it would be Yuno and Mahiru. I don't eat meat. Interesting. What's the meaning of life? I think it is something you learn for the first time when you look past yourself when it ends. I do not want to have regrets then, so I live on with all my might. Who do you want to see right now? My father. I want him to praise... I wanted to praise me for working hard. Do you listen to music? For songs that are highly entertaining? Not really. When do you wake up such to go to bed? I go to sleep at 9 p.m. and wake up at 6 a.m. Good girl! Do you believe in past lives and fortune telling? It seems there are many fake ones. Interesting. What would you do if the world were to end tomorrow? If everything were to end, then I might do all sorts of things I have never done before. Do you regret your murder? No, it was a natural obligation. Interesting. Do you want to be forgiven? Of course. I anticipate that you will make the correct judgment. Any complaints about being imprisoned? No, because this is a trial from God. God damn, this girl's fucked up. She is so fucked up. So fucked up. 20 questions. Who's in your family? Me, my mom, and my little sister. My little sister's in high school, and she's brilliant. Will we get John's answer to this, too? Oh, I wonder if you'll be able to tell who's answering based on the writing style. Have you ever played baseball? I played baseball in high school. I wasn't very good at it, though. I still practice my swings whenever I get frustrated with work. You practice your swings with a baseball bat, huh? Roll the... Court stenographer, please bring up the evidence of what John used in his murders. Have you ever had a lover? Of course I have. Do I really look like that? Do I really look that no, bottom bitch. Do you pay attention to What do you think will happen in bed with Mikoto? Do you think he'll switch alters halfway through, and he's going from being really gentle to going Suddenly you're with the bottom, and then now you're on the bottom. Of course. Do you pay attention to fashion? Of course. No one would want to request something from a designer with no fashion sense, right? You're a designer? Do you like drawing? I like it, but I'm not very good at it. Art college was more study-orientated, so my art skills are at the bare minimum. Don't go thinking that all designers can draw. What do you hate? Staying up all night working / reptiles / violence. Interesting. What are your hobbies? Shopping, darts, photography, cycling. Why did you want to work at your current job? I work at an advertisement company that's the top of the business world, you know? Just being able to get to that position is something to be proud of. I worked really hard to get hired there, too. Working at an advertising company is fucking stupid because all you're doing is selling false promises to people. Because that's the only reason for autonomy. There's a show great about this, and one of my favorite shows. It's called Mad Men. Why do you refer to people around you by nicknames? I think it started during college. Calling someone by a nickname that only you can use can be very effective. I recommend it. I mean, I call everyone by a nickname. Have you ever gotten angry at people? I don't think I've gotten angry before. Isn't it kind of disgraceful to get angry? Not at all. It's a human emotion. Are you the type to take others into consideration? Yes, I am. I'm a working adult, so communicating makes work easier. How do you get to work? I ride a bike. It's a hobby of mine, and a good exercise, too. I don't need to worry about missing the train, but that can be either a good or bad thing. Do you forget things a lot? I think I've been rather forgetful lately, because you're being somebody else. What will you be doing in 10 years? I'd like to work independently and make my own design company. That way I'm free to do what I want. So nothing comes to mind about you being a murderer. I already said as much. Warden-kun, aren't you being too insistent about this? How's your relationship with your parents? My parents are divorced. I get along well with my mother. She raised me. I can't let her worry. Do Do you smoke cigarettes? Only the electronic ones. I used to smoke regular cigarettes, but I've sealed away that habit since I got a job. Interesting. What are your favorite foods? Horse meat, sashimi, pasta, and bubble tea. Horse meat, sashimi. Interesting. Do you believe in God? I don't. It's not that I'm denying that God exists, you see. There's nothing to be gained by believing, right? Well, that's one of the biggest things, right? Of why both the church and also religion can be not beneficial to the working class, because it feeds you a lie, or the belief that no matter how bad it is now, that you can be patient and you can be solidity or sedentary in what is happening and not improve your own material conditions while you're on Earth, because you are guaranteed pie in the sky. Right? Now, that is not to say all sects of religion, right? Look at Sikhism, right? That is something that is actively benefiting the material conditions of people around them. Look at other people who have taken vows of charity and the like. But it's one of those things that unless you are actively benefiting the world around you or trying to do better, you are given an excuse to continue as you are because of religion, including if you are bourgeoisie, petty bourgeoisie, or any of the sort, because of what certain scriptures say about giving to charity and being charitable and the like, when they take that very literally and giving money away to certain organizations that do nothing to benefit anything. Because many times, most charities actually don't do shit. They only benefit themselves to bolster and gain more money. Again, there's nuance. You have to analyze these things. Are you a morning or a night person? I used to be very active at night. Nowadays, I go to bed early. Yeah, because the other part of you is very active at night. Ruby-chan! Hi! Just who are you? Yuzurihara. Oh! Yuzuriha Kotoko. Someone who plans to fight for your sake. Well, that depends on you too, though. Can you speak languages other than Japanese? English. If it's just basic day-to-day conversation, then I can speak some Chinese and Korean too. Interesting. Can you forgive the other prisoners for the crimes you committed? Of course. I believe that I did was the right thing. Didn't I say so already? When did you start learning martial arts? In elementary school, perhaps. Without enough power, you can't enforce justice and do the right thing, can you? I mean, there's also this thing called guns. Political power comes from the barrel of a gun. Not through voting. Anyway, but, I mean, I took martial arts. I used to be very, adhered to my martial arts. I always thought that that was like the great equalizer if I did not have a gun. I still think that. Because what are you going to do whenever, like, people will be like, oh, yeah, what you going to do when I pull out my blicky 9mm? What you going to do when you're 6'3" and, 250 pounds of muscle and you know boxing? I don't know. What will happen? What if you don't know how to use that gun? What if you do know how to use that gun and they're already close to you? Up, there you go. You're on the ground now. How do you spend your time at MILGRAM? Training and meditation. Interesting. Which prisoner do you have the most interest in? It's hard to say. As for now, if it's about whose character I can't quite grasp, it'd be Kazui, with his strong sense of intellectual curiosity. Interesting. What did you study at university? For a while, I studied at the Faculty of Law. There's something I want to do, though. So far now, I'm taking a break from studies. Who's in your family? Grandmother, father, mother, older brother. Very traditional household. Which prisoner do you think resembles you the most? Hard to say. Their actions always out of my scope of reasoning. Wouldn't the one most similar be Fuuta? Although, at the same time, he's also the most different from me. Interesting. That is very true. What do you think about the word femininity? It's one of the means you can take. It's something you can freely choose depending on the scene, so it's not something to cling on to. Guys, is Transmass Kotoko true? Do you have a lover? I don't, but I'll get one if necessary. Never mind. Actually, I don't know why I said never mind. I was going to say, asexual Kotoko canon. Do you have a quote you live by? There is no other path which allows me to live my life, so I will walk this path. Do you regret anything? No. Is there another prisoner you dislike? Mikoto. He's noisy and also a nuisance. What's more important, the goal or the means you take to achieve it? Yes, the goal, but also you have to be aware of the means of which to take it. You cannot just ignore one without the other. What do you think about extenuating circumstances? I think it's a necessary way of thinking. I don't think that committing a crime in itself is evil, so I think it's only natural to judge while taking a person's situation into account. Of course. What are the merits to teaming up with you? I'll act according to your will, and I'll protect you from harm too. Have you forgotten about the time you were on the verge of death? Interesting. It seems more in the idea of justice and protection, not actually what you are protecting. Were you ever bullied in the past? No. Are people who have had such past the only ones allowed to hate evil? Not at all. I mean... God, I sound like I'm reciting dogma. Besides the fact I fucking hate dogma the most whenever it comes to leftism. But I mean, look at media, right? Look at superheroes. Some superheroes became superheroes because they wanted to do good. Others experienced tragedy. Some people become leftists and hate capitalism because of the material conditions that they've faced. But then you had people like Engels and Marx, who were a part of the bourgeoisie and still chose to fight for the proletariat. And then obviously there were some things that their thinking then evolved over time as well. But yeah, it can entirely depend. What do you think evil is? Oppressing innocent weaklings. Interesting. But what do you define as innocent? Wow. Okay. Oh my god, the smoking's getting to me. Alright, next. Trial 1. Report on the end of first trial.
Yo, Gokuro-san. Yes.
What do you say?
Yo, Gokuro-san. Yes. なんだかこうして話すのはだいぶ久しぶりな気がするな。ジャッカロープ様だ。会いたかっただろ？ま、俺様の方はずっと見てたよ、お前らのこと。最初は戸惑ってたみたいだったが、なかなか立派にさばいてくようになったじゃないか。最後の方はだいぶこなれてたように見えたぜ。そうかい。俺様にはまるでミルグラムを楽しんでるようにすら見えたけど。そんな顔すんなよ。ちょっとしたジョークさ。さあ、これで第一審が終わったわけだが、ちょっとここまでのお前の道のりのおさらいをしようじゃないか。囚人番号1番、ハルカ。お前は奴を許すことにした。
Interesting. Okay. Very, very interesting. Personally, I had judged him as guilty. Because remember, it's not if you are innocent or guilty of what you did, it's whether or not you should be forgiven.
おお、特に迷わず許す気持ちが優勢だったようだが。
To decide guilty from the start, huh?
どうだ?
How do you feel now? Do you have any regrets watching the other prisoners?
他の囚人どもを見て後悔してたりしないか？ま、今更遅いけどな。 さて、囚人番号2番、ユノ。
I said innocent because of what I thought that her crime was, and that was just abortion. There was the idea that somebody offered up to me was the phenomenon in Japan of women leaving babies in lockers to die, but I don't feel like she has gone through with pregnancy. Not to say that you have a certain look when you go through pregnancy, but you can. And the fact that that's not a part of her very effectively chosen design tells me that that's not what happened.
これも許すとしたわけだ。
Good.
面白いじゃないか。許したり許さなかったりまた許したり。だいぶ迷ったようだね。
Was that what happened with the votes too? So she was voted innocent and then it went to guilty but then swayed back to innocent?
何を迷っているやら考えるまでもないだろ。深い意味はね。
There's no deep meaning to this.
俺様は美少女なら無条件で許すってだけさ。さて、囚人番号3番、フータ。許さない。
Oh.
なるほどね。こいつに対しては
Never gave an innocent judgment on this one. Really? Really? So it was overwhelmingly guilty. Interesting.
と許したくない気持ちが勝っていたね。おいおい、何がそんなに気に障ったんだ？前二人と同じただの人殺しだぜ。なんてな。ま、俺様的には面白いからいいや。
So what happens now? What happens now that he's deemed guilty? Does he fucking die?
囚人番号4番、ムー。許すにしたわけね。美少女だしな、納得。しかし、一体どうしたってんだ？最初は完全に許す一辺。
I said forgivable. I said forgivable personally. Yes! Got him.
どうだったってのに、急に心変わりしたじゃないか。最後まで許すべきか迷っていたみたいだな。何か気づいたか？態度が気に食わなかったか？面白いね、まったく。囚人番号5番、シド。こいつを許すことにしたんだね。
Really innocent. I said guilty because of what I figured that his crime was.
ああ、そういや、許すなって言ってたよな、こいつ。意地悪か？ああ、嘘嘘。
That was another thing. That was another thing. Did they say innocent because they didn't want to give him what he wanted?
怒るなよ。
That was also one of the reasons why I wanted to choose innocent too.
迷ってたのは知ってる。見てたからね。許すがこいつにとっての許さないだと思ったって部分もあんのか？そりゃまたまあいいんじゃね。どんな面するか気になるし。囚人番号6番、マヒル。許さないか。
Guilty.
俺様の一押しだったんだがな。残念。最初は許すつもりだったのに心変わりしたんだな。人を許したい気持ちよりも許したくない気持ちの
I was very conflicted with her. I don't even remember what I gave her. I don't remember.
方が長続きするってことなのかね。しかしそんな悪いことしてたのかあいつ。お前にあいつがどう見えてたのかは俺様は知らんけどな。ここの看守はお前だ。任せてるよ。囚人番号7番、カズイ。
Innocent.
お前はこいつを許すんだな。安定して許すつもりでいたわけね。桜井遥と似たパターンだがお前の表情は一緒に見えないね。様子見の許すってとこか？あるいは何か思惑があるのか。看守として何かつかめてきたのか？読み合い、探り合いだな。面白いね。囚人番号8番、
Guilty.
アマネ。
Guilty.
はあ、
Yes.
許さないね。 いやいや、俺様がふさふさじゃなかったら拍手してたところでこれは俺様の見込みよりもよっぽど立派な看守様だ。子供だろうがなんだろうが罪に対して正直になんだその面。間違いに気づいてほしいから許さないなんて考えてんのか。いやいや、まさかな。囚人番号9番ミコト、許さない。そうか。しかも圧倒的だな。
Yes, interesting.
こいつが起こした騒ぎのことは聞いてるよ。なかなか大変だったらしいな。悪い。こいつは圧倒的にイレギュラーだ。こっちの想定の外側にいる。今回は様子を見るが、ミルグラム全体に障害を起こすようであれば俺様も対策を取るからな。囚人番号10番コト。
I guess guilty.
お前はこいつを
Innocent.
許すこと
That
に
makes
した。
sense too.
なるほどね。
That was what I thought too.
ただものじゃなさそうといった記憶があるが、ここまでとはね。取引を仕掛けてくるなんて前代未聞だ。
Yes, but what happens now? What does guilty mean? Do they fucking die? Do they get punished? And then you get to find out more about them or what?
そしてお前はそれに乗ったわけだ。やれ。異分子をお前の仕事に混ぜることで何が起きるか俺様にもわからん。だが何が起きたとしてもお前の選択の結果だ。受け入れろよ。さて、以上が第一審の結果だ。想定通りかい？そうでもない顔してんな。いつもそんなもんだ。人生は思い通りいかねえもんさ。じゃなきゃあいつらも人殺しなんてしてねえだろ。ご苦労だったな、S。お前は第二審の開始まで眠っててもらうぜ。いいな。お前が次に目覚めた時、きっと景色は変わっている。お前の選択の結果が囚人たちを変えているだろう。どういう意味かって？時が来ればわかる。野暮な説明させんなよ。怖い？あんまり重く考えなくていいと思うんだがな。どっちにしろあいつらはもう終わってる。ただお前が決めたあいつらの運命見届けてみたいと思わないか？おっと、無駄話が。
Interesting that Jackalope is deciding for S to sleep. Almost like they have direct control over them.
過ぎたかな。役目を終えてお眠の時間かね。いいぜ。よーく働いてくれた。期待以上だ。さあおやすみ S。 ミルグラム第一審、これにて終了だ。
What's next? The Song of Prisoners, the second trial. Mikoto. Okay. We're going to skip the Song of Prisoners again this time so that I don't have to cut it out. We're just going to go straight to second trial commencement notice. But that will be for next video. Wow. Wow. I've got really nothing to say for all of Trial 1, except for the fact that I really fucking enjoyed it. Like, a lot. I really liked it. Other than that, like, I've already said all my thoughts. I'm not the kind of reaction channel that would, like, sum up everything at the very end with, like, a summation thesis, because I already said all my thoughts very blatantly throughout all of it. So all I really gotta say is thank you to everyone out there who has been supporting this so well and so good and everything, and I hope you're ready to have me watch through the rest of them. Let me know down in the comments on how you want me to approach this. Do you want me to have it? Do you want it to be all in one video? Do you want all of the second trial to be in one video? Which would mean that it would probably take a little longer for me to get it all out. And I probably won't go as in depth as normal, because obviously I'd be sitting down for one single session to record as much of that as possible. Or do you want me to do it like I did before, where it's, one prisoner, one video? including one video, one drawing, and music video and the like, and me talking about it throughout it. Other than that, let me know what you thought of MILGRAM Season 1 down in the comments, Trial 1. And if you want to support me, I have a Patreon down below. It is free. Subscriptions on YouTube, not subscriptions, memberships are not free. They are as low as 99 cents, though. And the lowest paid tier on Patreon is $2.50. If you want to support me over there, you can do so. Other than like, commenting, and subscribing, you have no obligation to do so whatsoever, though. It is just a suggestion. And you also get your name read out at the very end. But as always, thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Thank you to the members and patrons, aka the members of the Ultimate Pirate Fleet. Sawlane, Peachy Bun, Sleepy Sheepy, Lolo Bartazal, Finch R, Imanawi, Bell, Lily McMillan, Henri, Shira, Angel313, Andrew Ortega, Ariana Henry, Yoan, Test, Helen, Miles Morales, Buglarka Boggy, Moonze W, On You, Lind, the Vocaloid Nerd ARG, Distar Period, AT Period, Leia, Chocoboo / Chris, Annie, Sheng Guang, #1 Ash Bradley fan, and Michaela Malone. And a very special thank you to the paid tiers, starting with Fresh Pirates, Yui Izumi. If you wish to support me and hear your name at the end of every single video and even get your name grouped in with the same people that are a part of your tier, you can do so by becoming a member through the links in the description down below. You are all a part of the crew, but only some of you can achieve ultimate status. But then again, you've already heard the outro of this video. Thank you.